So it appears that George Soros is leaving Hungary. It was in the news yesterday that his Open Society Foundation's NGO is going to shut down its offices in Budapest and move it to Berlin. And this comes after Viktor Orban, the Prime Minister of Hungary, has been working to introduce new laws to basically ban Soros from Hungary and ban his work. So they're working on a law which has been called quote, Stop Soros Law, which aims to basically stop any NGOs that are working to promote mass migration into Hungary. And they say that under this new law, the government can ban any NGOs that they deem a threat to national security. From everything that the Hungarian government has been saying, it appears to be that they deem NGOs that promote mass migration a threat to national security. So this law has been dubbed the Stop Soros Law. If you don't know already, George Soros and his Open Society Foundations have been working very hard to push mass migration into Europe with different NGOs. When I was in Sicily, for example, reporting on the refugee crisis, it turned out that several of the NGO vessels that bring migrants up from Libya to Sicily, to Europe, that they get funding from George Soros, his Open Society Foundation. And not only that, the Open Society Foundations also fund a lot of far-left activist groups that promote communism, basically. You know, in Sweden we have a far-left group called Expo, which, I mean, they're more or less communist. They get funding from Soros. In 2014 they actually got funding from Soros to try and influence the Swedish election against the nationalist Swedish Democrats who are opposed to mass migration. So talk about real election meddling. There is no, you know, they talk about the Russian election meddling all the time. Well, here's real election meddling, George Soros election meddling. And he also funds, for example, the group in the UK called Hope Not Hate, who actually doxed me and came with all kinds of lies about me. And George Soros openly states that he is working to help, to try and help migrants and refugees and so on. It's no secret. It's very much out in open. And that's why the Hungarian government dislikes Soros so much, because they see his work as a threat to the national security of Hungary, because Hungary is against mass migration. They want to keep Europe European. Viktor Orban has responded to all of this on the radio by saying, quote, "You might understand if I don't cry my eyes out," unquote. Kind of sarcastic there. He doesn't seem too upset that Soros is about to leave Hungary, to say it that way. And you know, when will the West follow suit? George Soros has a history of election meddling, funding far-left activist groups. Other countries in the West, you know, Donald Trump and other countries, really need to consider doing this themselves, because George Soros really is a threat to democracy. Naturally, the mainstream media are quite upset about what's happening with George Soros and Hungary. Now, Reuters say that the critics say that this would be a milestone in a slip towards authoritarian rule and a crackdown on independent thought and activism. Oh, and George Soros is this promoter of liberalism and tolerance and freedom and democracy, and oh, he's just such a wonderful guy. But the mainstream media fails to mention that George Soros is actually in the business of election meddling and funding far-left groups with loads of money. And basically what George Soros is doing is a threat to democracy and a threat to freedom. Because he's working with giving loads of funding to various groups of far-left ideologies to try and basically control countries via these activist groups, control how people vote and so on. Because that's basically what is happening. And of course the mainstream media fails to mention that, and I try and portray George Soros as this wonderful guy who's so-called protecting democracy and so on. So that is why you shouldn't trust the mainstream media, and why it's so important for independent journalists like me and others that we exist. And you know, we guys cannot do this on our own. We need your help, guys. George Soros has his billions in funding that he's giving to all these far-left activist groups and far-left journalists. Us, we only have you guys, so if you want to support my work at all, it's highly appreciated. So I can continue bringing you all the latest and important information about what's happening in the world. And Also now, if you haven't seen, I have started a Discord server. Anyone who supports me with $5 or more per month gets exclusive access to my Discord server, where you can meet other like-minded people. You can chat directly to me and other like-minded people. It's a great place to build a community and share ideas. I'll leave the links to my Patreon and Maker support page in the description below. If you want to support my work, it really means a lot and it's highly appreciated. Thank you so much, guys, and make sure to leave a like and share this video all over social media, and make sure to subscribe if you haven't done so already. And if you have already subscribed to me, make sure to hit notification bell as well, so you get notifications whenever new videos come out, because the way the YouTube system works, you have to have the notification bell clicked in order to receive notifications. I have had some viewers complaining that they haven't received notifications whenever I post new videos, so make sure to hit notification bell, it's really important. So thank you so much, guys, for watching, and I'll see you later.